Welcome to The Shop, the Series, the podcast, where a cast and crew come together and discuss the production of each episode of The Shop, the Series.
So episode 3 kind of picks up where we left off on episode 2 when it comes to nothing good happening after 2 in the morning. So I discovered a message on my Instagram, which is how we communicate a lot of times now, from one of the actors on the show in the first 2 episodes. I'm not going to single out who, but I got the message going, can we talk? And whether it's a girlfriend or whether it's a significant other, a parent, or no, can we talk is never going to lead to anything great. Like, can we talk? I'm going to give you some money. That's not the way it goes. And I was right. So the next day during lunch, and mind you, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 days before we were set to film the original episode 3, which is not what we filmed. I got the message that where I originally met these guys at, 2 of the guys still work there. So I offered this episode to the shop owner first, I offered this show to the shop owner first, going, hey, do you want to do this show? Your guys, they're okay with it. I showed him the script, they love it. I sent him the script and it was a hard pass. He's like, no, thank you. And I'm like, okay, cool, no hard feelings, no worries. I didn't bother me at all. Then something happened. I don't know if we want to go into detail about it, but something happened to where there were hard feelings when this shop opened, the actual Retro Butter opened. There was some bad blood that was not the fault of Retro Butter at all.
Hater. It's funny. Not to interrupt or anything, but Dee's like, moving out here from the East Coast and going into this world of the video game and toy market and collectors and retro. There's more drama out here than a high school.
Yeah.
It's
junior high.
There's so much drama. Jesus God. And I'm not about that life. Like I don't know if it's an East Coast thing, but there's drama everywhere. But just me personally, like I'm just not about that life. I'm over that. I'm almost 40 right now. Like I don't have time. I can be gone at any minute. It's just like
that comes back after 40. You'll want drama.
Oh yeah, okay. There's egos, there's personalities that you can't control, unfortunately, which I don't think you want to control.
Just don't want to deal with them.
You don't want to deal. It's too much time and effort. It's so sad.
We're adults.
We all got hairs in our chest, grays in our beard, and like it's just BS.
Welcome to LA, Pablo.
Yeah.
Welcome to LA.
Damn.
It's to kind of not tell tales out of school. It was just really an ugly situation. And the owner of the other shop where my other 2 actors actually still worked and still work today, he gave them an ultimatum. It was basically one of those things where they had to quit. They were forced unfairly and maybe even a little illegally to quit the show. And they were threatened to quit the show. So they kind of had to, because the owner of that shop knows that those guys, of course, need their jobs. And, we love them. They were fun. They were having a great time and taking a lot of delight in this series. And I honestly feel bad because I wouldn't have had the motivation without their motivation and being okay with it and getting their feedback and being really excited. So they're getting cheated out of being able to continue with this show. But unfortunately, 5 days before this episode was going to be shot, I got the message saying, look, we're forced to quit the show. We're so sorry. There's nothing we can do. And, please, our bad. And I had to take a moment. Honestly, I was out to lunch. And I was out at lunch, and I kind of had to wait a second and think about what I was going to say, because I had to collect my thoughts, because this is a major pivot. This is half the cast. This is half the cast, mind you. We have a few days until we shoot, and I had to come up with a new concept to continue the old concept, a new script completely to bridge whatever we were going to do next in the 4th episode, because this episode 3 had to turn into what it was going to be. The script had to be scrapped. Something else had to come in. And luckily, we had shot episode 2 with Dee and her character. And Dee mentioned something to me. She said, and this is about collaboration. She goes, yeah, maybe one day she could be part of the crew someday. And I'm like, oh, maybe. And I thought about that, like, yeah, maybe that's season 2 or 3, because I wanted to make this a 6-episode season just to get it off the ground and get the concept out there. And then this happened, and I thought to myself, oh, crap.
And to say, too, you don't even need to hear in their voice the way that they love being on set when they're on set and acting, giving their all. They definitely want to be here. So,
and we want them here.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Of course.
And that's why this episode was special, because I wrote it in about 45 minutes, in about an hour at 1 a.m. I sent it off finally at 2:30 to everyone. 4 days before we were going to shoot, 4 days before today. And this is sending a script off fresh that they had not read. It wasn't a variation of the script we were going to do. It was a fresh new script. And these 6 or 7, this was about a 6-page script. So 6 pages, new dialogue, a lot of dialogue, and it was theirs to learn in a few days, where they would usually have 2 weeks, week and a half to learn their lines. And they did an amazing job. I couldn't get over how good everything was. And the hair is a separate character. I mean, he's just great on his own. But the guys did a great job. We brought Dee in as a regular member to offset the loss of the 2 actors. So she came in, really pulled her weight, and made this.
Don't talk about a woman's weight.
Oh, I'm sorry. She pulled her non-weight and her negative poundage.
She pulled her dumper.
She pulled her dumper.
But I found that, I know I'm doing a lot of talking right now. I'll hand it off to you guys. But the one job I knew that I had was to make sure we didn't lose momentum, because that once you lose that steam, you can't come back from that really for something like this.
It's true.
Something like this. Yeah. So I thought to myself, that day, within the couple of hours after it happened, I go, okay, we got to keep going. So we did it. Everybody came together and did a hell of a job. We still finished ahead of time of schedule. Yeah. So we finished about an hour ahead of time. That's, again, why we're doing this today. But when everybody got here, there was a feeling of hope, and I had some friends fill in as filler for the shop as small speaking roles and atmosphere for the show, and they were amazing. Everybody showed up on time, and it was great, and we got it done. And Dee did an amazing job, but it was because we shot that episode, luckily enough, 2 weeks ago, that this episode was possible. And I'm telling you, you guys you did a great job. How do you guys feel about it? I know with you it's personal. It's hard.
I mean, yeah. I mean, and this doesn't mean that the guys will never come back.
No.
This
Watch
isn't
the
like
episode,
the end all of end all. It's just in the moment. This happens. You have to pivot, and the pivot was great. It still worked out. This episode was a little bittersweet for me because there is a chemistry that formed very early on in this show, and you still miss that. And the guys are great whether the camera's rolling or not. Like, it's always great. It's never a dull moment, and I mean that in the best way possible. So yeah, seeing that and just seeing how things transpired out of ego and hate, it just, like we were just talking about, man, it's just, you don't expect it at this age, but unfortunately it is what it is. You can't control this world, and I don't think I want to control it, because like I said, it's too tiring.
We've got other things to do. Yeah, we have too many episodes to shoot for it.
Exactly. So what you do is you got to pivot and you adapt. Exactly, forward.
Onward and upward.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think this is the end all for the guys. I hope that one day they'll be back here and making magic again with us and having this be a great experience. So guys, we miss you.
You'll be back.
You'll be back. We love you guys. We're always thinking about you, and we can't wait to see you again.
This episode was kind of a love letter to them too.
It was a love letter to them, and that was awesome, man. And like you said, you got that out before 3 a.m. So, because anything after 3 a.m. is not good. He beat that timeline. So, and look at, this was an amazing script that he came up on in 45 minutes. That's wild. That's wild. And
Eyes on machine.
Yeah, dude, he is.
You guys showed up and shot the out of this. Yeah. I mean, I'm only a small fraction of this compared to you guys. It would not have come to life or come together. I would not have been able to pivot without you guys being like, yeah, sure, and believing in the process. And believe me, I've said that time and time again, because I talked to each of the guys. I talked to every one of my crew and each of my guys that couldn't be here anymore. And they're alive. They're not dead. They just couldn't be in the show anymore. Yeah. But they're dead to me. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding, guys. I talked to each and every one of them, and I let them know, this is not your fault. We understand that the situation was out of your control. None of us, and I made sure that none of us from top to bottom held anything against them, and none of us do, and none of us did. But I wanted them to know that. And I got an okay from everybody before that we were all on the same page, that none of us hold the actors responsible. It is not their fault. Mm-hmm. So we understand that, and that's why we have no ill will toward them at all. We still care for them. They're good guys, and just very talented guys. So, that's kind of was part of the message of this one, while trying to pivot the series to where it still works on a fundamental basis. And it does, fortunately enough. But what did you think about all this when it went down? Because you don't know, you two, our DP and our lead, know nothing about these. They don't know these guys. I do. I mean, I was really involved with the previous shop, this shop. But you guys, I kind of called you out of the blue because I did want you guys to know whether you guys had a stake in it or not. You deserve to know, especially since you're working on the series so passionately. But we'll start this way. We'll start with Todd.
Yeah. Oh, well, in entertainment, it's especially on set or when you do a live theater show or any of it, there's kind of a facade around it of friendships, and when you just have the time with that group. And then once it's all done, you just go and you never talk to each other again. You hear a lot about that in television world too. Yeah. But this already has created a great bond in just 2 episodes. And even though I'm an outlier of the friendship, because they already have a friendship with each other, I'm in here going like, no, like we're going to be friends for life now. Yeah. And I want to see them back in the show. And it's really sad to me because I was creating a great bond with them and getting to create those characters together, seeing where they were going with it. And I mean, even just the excitement that those two had of it. I mean, it's heartbreaking because you know that how much they loved it. Juan himself, his nephews are on social media talking about him and talking him up on YouTube. Yeah. And it's really cute to see that he has a fan following already, and because he's doing a great job.
Yeah, he is.
And so it's very sad to see. But yeah, I don't see this as the typical Hollywood feel of a group. This is a lot better bond. So.
Good. Until we all start making a lot of money and then just become just rich snobs and hate one another. Come to work, we have to do all of our scenes in separate takes.
Toxic group of mother.
No one's in the same room together when we film. It's all got to be ADR'd later with AI.
That's in my contract for season 2.
Right. Oh, that's good to know. You're fired. But Chris, how did you feel when you got the call from me?
So, it threw me off because
sorry.
It didn't bother me of a late night phone call. It was just like. Because my first thought was like, what did I mess up?
No, God.
Because that's what I'm used to. It's just
no.
That's what. And it's like, and from personal space, it's not like
you broke up the team.
It's, but yeah, it's another like, it's all about egos being easily bruised or stuff like that.
Imaginarily bruised too.
Imaginarily bruised. But I was not expecting that. Type of conversation. I'm like,
yeah, me neither.
Whoa, what's going on? And it gives me the rundown, and I'm like, my brain is just like trying to process the whole thing. I'm like, really? And I'm like, bro, this is happening again? Not to go into too much detail with your previous.
No, we can. I ruffle some feathers.
Previous project. We'll just leave it at that.
See, that's why we get along.
Right? Exactly.
We piss everybody else off.
We're a little abrasive.
And I'm just like, great, another big baby that got their feelings hurt.
Yeah. Well, the last show that I did that got a few of our friends in hot water is a podcast I did about hotels. And I'll be very brief about that. The management did not like it because I was talking crap about how horribly they manage this classic Hollywood property into the ground and disrespected this fine old lady and just, and all that. But yeah, we'll talk less about that. But we had some good outcomes from that show, even though everybody got pissed off. But people got threatened, and people in power do that when they feel their ego threatened if they have a weak, fragile ego. And that's what happened then. And unfortunately, that's what happened this time. And it's unfortunate, but that, like Todd said, that's life in the business. That does happen. People just don't want to get it and want to try and take you down. But this didn't stop us, and it's not going to.
Yeah, so it did throw me off. So
sorry, you were talking.
No, you're good.
I'm gonna make it about me because I am an egomaniac.
Yeah. But it did throw me off. But again, hoping we'll bring them back soon.
Oh yeah.
So they are missed. Again,
the more you support us, the more chance the guys are going to come back. I'm just saying, it's not your fault. But
we could push here on the tablet's going to ask you a question.
10, 15, or 25%.
Or your choice.
But the first 2 episodes were great just because of from the short time, the chemistry was like already developing. Like, it's sad, but hoping for the future that we'll bring them on back. But as we're all saying, we got to move forward and keep going And again, kudos to Ty to that script in like less than 45 minutes is insane.
Thanks. Let's hope everybody likes it.
But again, at the end of today's episode, it was still a good flow. Like we have the flow going, and we're not gonna let it stop, and we're gonna continue. But yeah, I agree with you about like we don't have time for this. Like I mentioned last podcast, like we're all coming together, putting in our time and effort and energy, like balancing our personal lives, our work lives. With all this together, like we don't have time to be wasting on people who have an unhealthy obsession of holding on to
imaginary grudges
and unnecessary negative emotions like that. So
yeah, agreed.
I think that's what's great about right now too with this show is because you and I have seen it on my own projects, with your own projects we've been on together, where people come in and just ruin it.
Yep.
Yeah. People's personalities. And we've learned enough now that we're older and been through all that to go, oh no, let's just remove those pieces and we're just going to keep moving forward. And I mean, that's what you did. You were like, no, we're just going to keep doing this. And that momentum is what keeps everything going, because you don't want it to drop off a week or a month, or because then it becomes years and you're like, oh, we were going to do that. And I've had that happen with many projects.
Mine too. My projects as well. Yeah. so that's what he's alluding to, folks.
I had projects like that too. So
yeah, I mean, it does happen, and unfortunately, like it's funny. This is the first time that this has ever been so real to me. The saying, "The show must go on," and I know that's a corny Hollywood saying or a theater saying. An acting saying, but it's true. Once you lose that momentum, as we said before in a previous, or in this podcast, but in a previous one as well, once you lose your steam and your motivation for this, then everything is kind of screwed. And it's really difficult to bring everyone back because everyone just feels derailed. But we weren't gonna let that happen. I wasn't gonna let that happen. Yeah. And I made sure that nobody else was either. And these guys, I couldn't have done it without them rallying around this project and saying, you're right, we're gonna keep going, let's do it. Episode 3, parts of it are a love letter to these guys to let them know that, they're beloved and respected and we cherish them. And we hope to see them again in the not too distant future. But that was kind of the feel of episode 3. It was really dramatic. I know this podcast was less silly and less fun, but our memories of this will be real for a long time because of the panic that it induced. But at the same time, the power of we as a group and how we came together. And this includes Dee, even though she's not here. We all had long conversations about this to understand what was happening, and there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes we're not revealing because we can't. We know who's to blame, who's not to blame, and how blame in the long run just doesn't help anybody anyway. So what we're going to do is keep going no matter what, and there's not going to be anything that gets in our way of this nature. It's not going to stop us. We're going to keep going because we enjoy this. We're doing this purely out of the inspired creation and the fact that we like the concept, we're running with the concept, we care for one another, and we're going to keep this going until we run it into the ground. That being said, I'm Ty Justice.
I'm Todd McLean.
I'm Pablo Godoy.
Chris.
And this has been episode 3 of the Shop the Series podcast, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.
Whatever happens, this shop will soldier on, no matter who or what tries to get in the way. And for my missing employees, wherever you are, just know that your job is here safe waiting for you whenever you get back.
Thank you for tuning into the Shop the Series, the podcast. Please like, share, and subscribe, and contribute to our Patreon if possible. Either way, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.